In this video, I want to share with you 5 benefits of a coffee enema, answer some commonly asked questions, and share with you a few tips of how to do a coffee enema. Hi, I'm Deborah Vidal, and I'm the owner and founder of VidalSpeaks.com. I'm a 25-year homeopath with a practice right here in the Hollywood Hills, and I've helped all of my patients with so many different symptoms with either coffee enemas or other detox protocols, homeopathic remedies, and of course, putting them on a plant-based diet. But if you're interested in healing, then watch this video and stay till the end when I'm going to share with you my 3 tips to do your coffee enema. So let's get started about coffee enemas. What are the benefits of coffee enemas? First of all, I just want to tell you, I know there's a lot of negative stuff out there. They don't get a fair rap, I promise you. This one, I talk from so much experience. Coffee enemas have been a miracle for me in my healing journey. As you guys know, I had toxic overload from the pesticides on the golf course when I was a pro for 11 years on the LPGA tour. And I had a lot of cleaning up to do to get myself well. I was chronically ill to the point that I had to quit my career and leave the tour to get myself well. So I honestly can speak from experience in many of these subjects about getting well because I've been there and I know what it feels like to feel lousy and sick and toxic and hopeless when doctors can't help you. But coffee enemas can help you, I promise. So let's talk about the 5 benefits. But before I do that, I just want to ask you to please subscribe and like this video. I love you and I'll appreciate it forever. Thank you so much. Okay, so benefit number 1, coffee enemas clean your liver. That is the main reason you're doing a coffee enema. It's not a bowel cleanse, it's a liver cleanse. That is so important because our liver has to take so much stress from the environmental toxins, food toxins, pesticides, all kinds of things, our liver, even pharmaceutical drugs, everything goes through our liver. And coffee enemas direct their cleansing properties to the liver. Number 2, your liver filters your blood through. One full revelation of all of your blood goes through your liver every 3 minutes. So when you do a 15-minute coffee enema, you have 5 cleansing cycles. So you're basically cleaning your blood, and that's why you feel so much better after a coffee enema. It's amazing. Okay, number 3, and because it's taken rectally and not by mouth, you're not depleting your adrenals. Coffee by mouth is extremely acidic. It's putting your body out of its alkaline, healthy state and into an acid state, but also you're totally depleting your adrenals. But coffee enemas taken rectally don't have that effect. So that's an amazing, great benefit. Number 4, it raises glutathione in your body when you do a coffee enema, and glutathione is like the king daddy antioxidant, and the more you can have of that, the healthier you'll be. So coffee enema raise that one. And lastly, the 5th benefit of coffee enemas is it takes away that foggy brain feeling. It helps with pain and it makes you feel good. If I have back pain that day, I always feel better after a coffee enema. If I had a headache, it would 100% be gone, and I always feel more clear-headed. It's amazing, and it's not the same effects of taking a cup of coffee by mouth. Okay, so now let me tell you a little bit about my miracle experience with coffee enemas. In addition to being sick, and coffee enemas were a big part of my detox protocol to bring me back to health. But in addition to that, when I was 11, I got in a horrible horse accident where I actually died and came back. But I was left with chronic migraines for 43 years, and I took so many aspirin because that was the only thing that helped me. Honestly, I don't know how I survived taking that many aspirin. And when I learned about coffee enemas, I used them instead of aspirin, and it worked. I was able to get rid of taking aspirin just by doing coffee enemas. They were my miracle, honestly. I love coffee enemas. I've used them myself. I'm very familiar with the Gerson Clinic, and Gerson Therapy wants you to do 5 coffee enemas a day. So if they were truly dangerous, tell me how something like Gerson Therapy that is so successful and known all over the world can be giving their patients 5 coffee enemas a day and it be harmful. So I want to give you a warning. If you want the benefit of coffee enemas, but you're not taking a lot of juices or you're not eating a lot of raw food, then just make sure you take a good ionic mineral supplement. You can see the one I recommend on my site, but just be sure you're taking some good ionic minerals, because if you do coffee enemas without replenishing a lot of those minerals in those raw foods, you could deplete yourself. So be sure that you're taking your minerals and eat as healthy as possible, of course. But please don't be afraid of coffee enemas. They are my #1 go-to detox for my liver. They help me personally all the way to the road back to wellness. I've recommended it to hundreds of patients. I know many people that have done them forever. And that's the other common question: how long can I do them? I know people who've done them for 20 years. Gerson Therapy tells you when you're done with their therapy after 3 years, they want you to do 1 daily for the rest of your life. So honestly, do them as often as you want to do them. I personally now do them about 3 times a week, but if I'm not feeling well that morning or I have a little pain or a headache, I'll just do a coffee enema and I always feel better. Always. And if you want more information about coffee enemas, go to vidalspeaks.com and just put coffee enema in my search box and you'll see the podcast that I did on it, and I tell you all the details about coffee enemas. But before I leave you, I want to tell you my 3 favorite tips about coffee enemas. Tip number 1, make coffee up in advance and keep it in your fridge. That way when you need to do one, you've got it ready and you don't have to take all that time to make it up. And if you want to know the details about how to do that, just go check out my podcast on my website, and I've written a blog on that. Okay, tip number 2, put your hand in it and make sure it's not too hot. You don't really want it cold either. Just try to get it room temperature or a little warmer, but be sure to check it out. And tip number 3, I like to do them in the morning. That way it gets you like feeling better and clear-minded, and if you have any pains, if you feel better. So I always do it in the morning. Although it's not the same as drinking a cup of coffee, I never feel buzzed or I don't feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep. I've done them at night and I had no problem. Some people can be more sensitive to that because they may leave a little coffee inside. It's just better to do it in the morning because you'll go through your day feeling better. All right, you guys, if you've liked this video, be sure to check out my others.